Hello, everyone. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Get going. I do have my notice that just popped up that says recording in progress. So with that, let's go ahead and officially kick this session off. This is Lynn Hamilton, your lead instructor at Sampson Properties, but you all knew that, but we have to identify who we are. Anyway, so in today's session of our learning trails, we're going to talk about what you say really does matter. And we're going to talk about um, making sure that you are also getting the right message to the right target. You know that I've got a background in marketing, and so that's kind of my, you know, I want to make sure that our agents know how to better communicate with those in their circle. So let me start by saying I have a love-hate relationship with scripts. So we're not going to discuss scripts per se, because scripts work really well when both party has the script. When both parties don't have the script, then it doesn't always work as well. Because what happens is you're all prepped with your script. The other person doesn't respond according to the script, and now you're thrown off. You don't know what to say. And I have seen that for years and years and years go on. And I used to just have to go crack up laughing. Agents would come in and they'd hit in the morning and they would do their scripts back and forth with each other. And then they would get on the phone and then they would get back together again and go, but they didn't answer that way. They didn't respond that way. And they're all frazzled and all upset. So on that. So let's talk more about best one-liners and what I'm going to call conversation starters. We all are old enough. We know how to have conversations. It's information and question, information and information and question and information. That's a conversation, kind of back and forth. So also a important piece of this puzzle, if you will, is understanding too that there are 4 personality styles in the DISC profile. There's the D, the I, the S, the C. We've already done training on that. It's one that you really kind of got to dig into a couple of times before it starts clicking and making sense. I've been teaching it for years and years and years. I'm a certified DISC instructor. So for me, it just comes second nature. Understanding that there are 4 personality styles, again, the D, the I, the S, the C, in that platform. What you would say to a D, you wouldn't necessarily say to an I, an S, or C. So let me kind of give you the quick overview. When you're dealing with a D personality, or how to identify someone as a D personality, they're very sharp, crisp, to the point. They're kind of the cut the crap, get to the bottom line kind of people. They want data, they want numbers, they want facts, they want figures. If you are showing a property to a D personality, and they're a really high D, you don't go, and here's the kitchen, and there's the bathroom, because they're going to look at you like you're an idiot. And they may actually say, you really think you needed to tell me that? You didn't think that I could figure out which is the kitchen and which is the bathroom? That's a really high D. They are the just, bam, bam, bam. But that being said, if you're working with a D, you would walk in and say, house was built in this year, number of square footage, whatever data you have. And it's data, 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 data. Numbers, 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 numbers. So that's what they love, because they're the last thing they want is to be taken advantage of. Don't waste your time. Don't tell me that's the bathroom and that's the kitchen, because to them, you're wasting their time. So that's a little bit about the Ds. Now, we all have DISC in our makeup. It just depends on situations and what we're higher in. Now, your I personality styles are a little more fun-loving. We're going to have a good time. We're going to make sure we have a good time. And if I'm dealing with someone who is a high I, I'm going to ask them silly questions like, so Where are you going to put the Christmas tree? Because if they're looking at a house, they've already figured out where they're going to put the Christmas tree. So there you go. They're looking at how the house and the entertainment is going to happen. Okay, that's what they're thinking. Your S and your C personality styles, again, we've got a little bit of all of that in us. Your S's are very steady. They want to know you've got a system. They want to know you've got a checklist, which is why if you have taken a look or have studied yet the buyer and seller consultations, there's a lot of things in there that are bullet point. It's not paragraphed. It's bullet points. That's for your D, your S, and of course your C as well. So your S is someone who is very steady. Again, they want to know you've got a system. They want to know you've done this before. They want to know that you are going to walk them from one step to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And you're going to have a little bit of fun doing it. All right. In the C personality, that is one that's very compliant. Again, they want to know that you've got a checklist. They want to know that you know what the rules and regulations are. And oh, dear Lord, you better follow them. Because if not, they're going to go into a meltdown. Oftentimes, they're the ones too, because their big fear is being taken advantage of. So they will not sign a thing until they have read it, every word of it, asked the questions, and told you or showed you where a comma was missing in the contract. Okay, they are that, okay, which is great. Those are the ones that when you realize they're kind of that way, they're not signing anything until they read it and understand it, which is great. Embrace that with them. Do not ever tell them to shut up and sign it, because that's not going to go over real well. But it's that personality type that you would say, hey, I just thought of something. So, Kevin, let me ask you, I know that you like to read everything, which I absolutely appreciate. And I'm so glad you do that. Always acknowledge that, whether you think it's stupid or not, acknowledge it with the client. Would you like to get a draft blank copy of most of the stuff that's going to be coming up around the corner that needs to be reviewed and signed? So this way you have a chance to read it thoroughly. So when we sit down to actually fill it out, I fill it out and I'll have you double check my work. Ooh, you are the best thing since sliced bread at that point in time. Now, you say that to an I, they're going to go, no, I trust you. Where do I sign? Your D is going to go, I'm not signing anything until I look it over. Your C is going, I'm not signing anything until I've read it thoroughly. Okay, so that just kind of gives you a little sneak peek, if you will, into the different personality styles. Now, if you ever take the DISC class that I've done, I do offer in there, and it's the best one because although as a certified DISC instructor, I can purchase the test and supply them out, but I believe that they're kind of expensive. So Tony Robbins has one through his website, and you can get the basic report, I think, for less than 25 bucks. For those that choose to go through the course online and do his personality assessment and pay for that, when you send it to me, that will trigger me off to reach back out to you and offer a 30-minute one-on-one to go through where your strength is, but where your weak link is, and what you just need to be aware of as you're progressing forward. We talk in DISC 1 about what you are and understanding what you are and how you work naturally. And then in DISC part 2, we talk more about interacting with the consumer. And if you're one way and they're the other, how do you find that happy medium? I lovingly say we just need to learn to become that chameleon. So that is my bonus gift if that is something you want to dig into further. But with that, you kind of if you know enough of the basic of it, you kind of start putting on your radar, what people are and where they fall. And when you listen to them, you're also going to be able to what we call mirror back to them. So if they say, I see this is what's happening in the market, they're also visual. So you would respond back, I'm seeing the same thing, or I'm not seeing the same thing. What I'm seeing is this. If they say, I hear, again, that means they're auditory and their learning style. And they may say something, but I hear that the market's going to crash. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard some of those rumors, but our data is not showing that. And again, you can go into conversation with them from there. There's also the third learning style that is kinesthetic, which means they have to have their hands on things, which is why the buyer and the seller consultations you have to be able to hand out as well. So you're hitting not only the D, the I, the S, the C, you're also hitting the three learning styles in the buyer and seller consultation. So again, all these pieces kind of start coming together. If you notice in my teaching to my agents here, it is verbal. So it's auditory, it's visual, and it's kinesthetic because I always got a handout for you. There's a method to my madness. So there you have it. All right. So let's get into a little bit deeper dive. And again, the two classes that I'm going to reference are both available for you in the Samson University, which is Cardinal Nest. Link into the Samson University tab. If you scroll down, you're going to see Lynn Hamilton's classes. Those are all of mine. So all of my 30-something classes are in there. The two we're going to talk about today, and again, this is part of our learning trails, is the best one-liners and scripts and conversation starters. So those are the two that I'm going to be referencing. So if this intrigues you that thinks, maybe I need to learn a little bit more about this, or I need to sharpen my skills a little bit on this, those would be the two that I would tell you for this session is your deeper dive into it. Let's start with the scripts and conversation starters. As you know, love-hate relationship with scripts, but that's all right. Some of them, there's very few that are actually you want to follow verbatim. And when we have one that falls into that category, I'm going to tell you that this is one that needs to be done verbatim. And that is because it was something that I learned from Joe Stump in the By Referral Only. Joe's specialty was neurolinguistics and the English language. He understood and studied how every word, tone, cadence, and presentation carried a weight. And so there's, again, a very few things that I'm going to say, absolutely learn how to say that verbatim. The other one-liner tag that has often been used is you memorize it, whatever it is, this conversation starter, question, or script. You memorize it, you internalize it, and then you customize it. So that is usually a good balance in which to go. What I'm going to encourage you to do is also to just stop and think. Once you have had a conversation with somebody, whether it be email or verbal conversation, I want you to stop and ask yourself, did I really listen? Did I get the point that they were wanting to make? And did I understand what they're hoping to achieve? And then kind of ask, next time around, could I do it any better? So when you are doing, and I'm going to again reference back to the buyer and seller consultation, once you do a consultation, you step back and say, what was the one thing I did really well then you ask yourself, what's the one thing that next time I want to make a little smoother, a little better? I kind of got tongue-tied on that part. Do I need to, polish up on that, whatever that was? And that is how you improve. Identify what you did right. Identify where you need a little bit of work. You work on that little piece. And then next time you present, you've already done this one right. And you've identified that you did that well. So you're going to keep it. And then you're going to add what you've been working on, probably into the, hey, I did that really well category. And then you'll ask yourself, what's the other thing that I just kind of got tongue-tied on, or I didn't know how to answer that? Kind of dig into that a little bit, kind of, let it go through your brain. And then when you present again, now you've got two things you do really well. This one is going to go into probably that category. And that's how you front load and get better and better and better and better. So often agents have a tendency to just rip themselves apart. Don't do that. Identify what is the one thing that I just did that was really good. What was the one thing that I could work on just a little bit? And there you go. All right. So let's talk about some emails. If you're going to be communicating via email, I don't know where they got this study from, but it was interesting. They said that if you say thank you or I'm sorry in the subject line, the opening rate on it will go up. Because people want to know what you're sorry for or what you're saying thank you for. There you go. Do not, in an email, put your entire sentence, your entire question, your entire email into the subject line. Please do not laugh. I've seen that done. Okay? Your subject line should contain, excuse me, no more than 7 words or less. Great little tip there. You want to entice them to open it, but you don't want to give them the whole conversation in the subject line. Now, when you are done with a conversation, or especially the buyer or seller consultation, a phenomenal email to send is, did I get it right? Did I get it right? And when I teach that class, you probably remember going, oh, well, yeah, Lynn's talked about the follow-up email that goes out after a major conversation or the buyer or seller consultation. And the email says, did I get it right? Now, if you've not got to that yet, but you're going, ooh, what is this? Guess what? My website is your go-to source. Next to Cardinal Nest, my website is your second go-to source. Now, ulterior motive here. I need to be able to make sure that anything that I share or talk about is quickly accessible to you guys, because you're my SOI. And so by putting it on my website, you can get it immediately, because then we can eventually get it up into resources. Now, that being said, the ulterior motive part to this is it lets you see what you can potentially do to your website. Because remember, I'm the non-tech one. I'm the non-techie. So if you can go, wait a minute, Lynn's got her website as the go-to source for our agents, our Samson agents, because you guys can come to it 24/7 and retrieve information, retrieve little videos, retrieve how-to instructions, retrieve handouts that I've talked about in any of my sessions, quick and easy, because I'm not always able to answer emails, sometimes for hours on end. If I'm driving, like yesterday, or teaching, like yesterday, I had a 10-hour day, but only had about 20 minutes to be able to tap into emails. So I wanted to make my website your backup go-to source. Well, everything else is getting eventually uploaded into Cardinal. But with that being said, it's also to entice you to go, wait a minute. What do I need to learn or to do to make my website my client's go-to source for information, questions, whatever? That's the ulterior motive. So when you look at my site, which is, again, it's lynnhamilton.samsonproperties.net, you will see a tab that was added, Agent Resource Center. That's been done for all of you. 2 of the pages have already gotten a makeover, and I'm working on the 3rd. You have a new page there with bonus handouts. Go take a look. The next tab down is, how-to instructions. Okay, Lynn, I remember she talked about doing QR codes, but I don't remember what she said or where, or the blog. There you go. It's all right there for you now. So when you're wanting to work on it at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, I don't have to answer because I know you can get it quick and easy. All right. The one that's getting the makeover is the listen and learn. That's coming next. Again, it's up there, but it's not as easily trackable. And then there's my schedule, because I know some people like to stalk me, which is fine. And I've got something else on there too. I don't remember. Anyway, but it's all coming. So, and the common mistakes. That one's come. I've got it done. I just need to get it posted. So you want to be able to follow up with them. So that, how did I do email template, or what you say? That's why we got into what's on my website, because it's there for you. It's called How Did I Do? There you go. Download it. So when you're talking to someone, you want to follow up with them afterwards. Your D's, your S's, and your C's are going to absolutely love it, because they know that you've listened and you heard what was important to them and you've nailed it. So that's a great one to take away from this. Another thing in communications, and what to say matters, is learn to become next step obsessed. I just saw that note. Okay. Become next step obsessed. Your D's and your S's and C's are absolutely going to love it, because they want to know what comes next. So you've probably heard me say this in some of the classes already. My next step is this. Your next step is this. And it becomes that you're guiding them through the process, because they don't know. And next thing, they're all over, like, have you ever played a pinball game where you pull that little lever back and the little ball goes in there and it shoots out and then it starts bebopping all over the board, all over the place? That is most of your buyers and sellers. They're like, okay. When you're able to say, our next step is, my next step is this, your next step is this. Especially your S's and C's that are very systematized are going to absolutely love and appreciate that. Okay, so that's a great takeaway from this as well. In the Conversation Starters class, we touch on your call to action, how to respond to the question of how's business, how's the market, what are the interest rates doing. So we hit all of those in there for you as well, into a deeper dive. But I really want to get over to the best one-liners, and then give you some absolute takeaways for different markets as well. I'm just looking over my paperwork to make sure I'm not forgetting anything major that I wanted to hit. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about what is in the class, again, to take a deeper dive when you are ready and when you are so inclined, which I would say should be relatively soon. Best one-liners. In the best one-liners, we give you a whole, I don't know how many pages are here, of best one-liners that apply when you are emailing, when you are face-to-face with them. The coffee closing statement, that one, that is a Joe Stump. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. When I learned that and mastered that, it was phenomenal because the closing line is someday or eventually you are going to know someone who needs my help with something real estate related. When that happens, are you comfortable introducing them to me? That way I can interview with them, determine what their need is, and make sure I'm the right help for them. Okay. They're usually going to respond back with, oh, absolutely. And then you go, promise. Now, guys, you may not want to feel comfortable doing this part, but us girls probably do. Pinky swear. Okay. So what that has done is you have embedded into their little brains that someday they are going to come across someone who's going to need some help with something real estate related. And when that happens, embedded command, I am comfortable in introducing them to you so that you can interview with them to make sure you're the right match, the right fit. Oh, and wait, I promised. That's where the end promise question comes in, or the pinky swear promise comes in. That one is extremely valuable and powerful because, again, we assume people know how to refer us, and in actuality, no, they don't. Okay. Again, this is in the class in a deeper dive, but emails and conversation closings, a great thing to say. Again, going for the right message to the right target. Did I miss anything? Does it make sense? And then what is our next step? When you are geo-farming, which we all do at some point in time, again, the takeaways on that is making sure the right message goes to the right target. So if you're going to send out 200 postcards to a farm area, you are wasting a little bit of money and a little bit of time. Why, you ask? Well, wait, I can tell you. Unless you have research to see which of those 200 are actual homeowners that actually live there, you've just sent a postcard message. Do you want to sell your home? Or are you thinking about selling your home? To a renter. Now, I'm going to ask a question. Can a renter sell the home that they're living in? Yes or no? Give me thumbs up. Yes, they can, or no, they can't.
They can, but they may not.
Yes. In October, I'm going to do it again this year because it was too much fun last year. Horror stories of the real estate world. There was actually a story shared. I think it was the class that Kevin was in up in Woodbridge, if I'm correct, or Stafford, one of the two. The title company came in and shared some of their horror stories. And yes, there was a renter who had been renting for a long time. They got the postcard, do you want to sell your home? And thought, hey, let's try this. They literally got it listed. The agent never checked, got it under contract with an offer in on it. It is in processing from the title company, and they discovered that Kevin did not own the property. Mavis owned the property, and Kevin was the renter and was trying to sell it. Cannot make this stuff up. So it's been tried. So again, you want to make sure you're sending the right message to the right target. In our geo-farming, we have already provided for you under resources. I know that is crazy. In resources, you put in geo in the search box. You're going to find the library, if you will, of geo-farming postcards. We already have 4 for the homeowners. We have 4 different messages for the absentee owner, which means they live someplace else. And we have 4 postcard messages for the renter. So again, we want to make sure we're sending the right message to the right target. Don't waste your money. on sending out just a blanket, break it down. I know a couple of you agents are working on that right now, analyzing a geo farm. And again, I feel like a broken record at times. I apologize. We have already recorded a really good class on geo farming and understanding how to break it down, but then how to analyze the numbers. So if that is on your radar of one of your marketing pillars that you've decided on after you've completed Jumpstart Session 4, we already got you. We got you with full details. Okay. In making sure that you're getting the right message to the right target, sometimes you've got those in your database that you met, God knows where. You don't even remember where you may have met them, but you want to do a follow-up with them, but you're not sure what to say. One is, were you serious? That's a great subject line. Were you serious a while back when you told me you were interested in possibly buying? Or were you just kidding? There you go. Okay. So those are some great right message to the right target. So for those that are on, I'm going to say a D, Jumpstart Session 3, we talk about your A, B, C, and D clients or contacts. A D would be, I don't remember where I met them. I wouldn't know if I tripped over them. Oh, wait, let me just reach out and say, hey, were you serious? Right message to the right target. Another great one to run with is when you're working or wanting to work with downsize sellers, which means they're probably, and again, I'm going to be very, generic here, they're probably 55 and older. They've owned the home for probably 20 years or more. It's 2 or 3 stories. I'm going to bet within that pocket or that pool, they may still love the house, but their knees or their hips are hating the stairs. So again, it comes circle back to the right message, the right target. Does the home still meet your needs? Do you still love it? And they may have just hit a point that they just went, you know what, if I have to walk up those damn stairs one more time, I'm just going to slide down the banister. Okay. So right message to the right target. So as you're thinking about sending anything out, here's where I want you to put your thinking hat on. Who is my target? What is their pain point that I can identify and yet still show them that I can be of help? So again, if you're wanting to do first-time home buyers because they're currently renting, right message to the right target. Did your landlord thank you for paying his mortgage, his or her mortgage? Because they're paying a mortgage. They're just not paying their own. Those messages are already mapped out for you in our geo farming postcards. You know what? Go check them out. Steal the information that's on there because they're for you, and use it in your Facebook or your social media posts. There you go. The homeowners, again, they're either going to move up or move down. Does the home still meet their needs? I'm going to have that, I think, engraved on my headstone because I've said it enough times. Yes. Does your home still meet your needs? Or when your home no longer meets your needs? That is a great question to ask because they may still love the house. They may still love the neighborhood, but the house doesn't meet their needs anymore. That could also be for a townhouse or a starter home for someone. Does the home still meet your needs? Do you still love it? Oh yeah, we just heard you had triplets. I'm thinking that 1 bedroom ain't going to be working much longer. Okay. Slight giggle, but you get the point. So ask yourself, What is the target that I'm going after? Then go for the bullseye. What is the message I need to customize to that bullseye to kind of jiggle their brain? You have a problem that I can help. When the home no longer meets your needs, whether it's now, next week, next month, next year. Yes, you're probably all looking for business now, but you're also going to be looking for business next week and next month and the month after that and the month after that and even a year from now. So by keeping that as the constant, sweet little drip of the message, right message to the right target. Because as you've heard me say, I don't give a royal rip what the world is doing, what the economy is doing, what the interest rates are doing. When a home no longer meets their needs, they're going to choose to make a change. Okay. So if Denise just got a job offer in Austin, Texas, and it was going to pay her $1.5 million annually, I don't care how much she likes her house. She's gone. Her and Will are packed up and gone. They're calling me going, Lynn, the key's under the mat. Take care of it. Here's the address. Ship my stuff to me. I'll pay you extra. I'm gone. Okay. The home no longer meets the needs. They're out of here. So that's marketing 101, gang. Think about what the message is that you need to go specifically to that target. Okay. All right. As a bonus in the class handouts, again, when you go into Samson University and you listen to a class, it's on the video, scroll down underneath it. There's going to be a box that's got your handouts. One of the handouts that we've done for the best one-liners is what we call our flashcards. They're 4 up, so the size of a postcard. Once you print them, you cut them and cut them. You now have postcard size, and you can use these as flashcards to help memorize and make sure that you are incorporating these things into your business and your vocabulary. So there you go. All right. So getting the right message to the right target. Tattoo that on your arm, your forehead, whatever. Create yourself a sign if you have to. Post it up wherever you work. Put it on a Post-it note for all I care. Say, am I getting the right message to the right target? And if you can't joggle your brain to figure out what that would be, email me. I'll send you to where our resources are. So resources are I got to tell you it's something, but I have to email it to Heather. We are giving our grab and go 2-page. Some refer to it as the Pop By Press. Some refer to it just as a 2-page grab and go newsletter. We've just mapped out all the articles for the next year. In addition, get a load of this. We're going to be doing some special editions of the newsletter that is geared specifically, the 4 or 5 articles that'll be in there are going to be geared specifically for renters into first-time home buyers. There's going to be a special edition for a homeowner considering and needing to sell. There's going to be a special edition of, I think we have 3 or 4 different titles and options. So special editions are coming as well. Along with that, the key articles that will be in the newsletters will be made available in either a blog post or some of them will be turned into postcards. Are you impressed? Please tell me you're impressed because we're really excited about this. Yeah. So that is, already up in the works. If you do not know how to do the grab and go 2-page newsletter, and you're sitting back going, I need to make sure that I stay in touch gently with a gentle touch of, hey, I'm still here, newsletter once a month to my SOI. If you haven't looked into the newsletters, please do so. go into Cardinal Nest, go into either resources or library. It takes you the same direction. It should pop right up and you'll see Pop by Press. If not, in the search box, you can put news. You don't even need to type newsletter. It'll bring up the two options. There's a 4-pager. If you're just getting started, don't worry about the 4-pager. Tackle the 2-pager. It'll give you the last 14 or 15 months of the newsletters that we've already got available for you. Scroll down a little bit. There's a box. In there are the how-to instructions to customize that newsletter. Screenshot and arrows, screenshot and arrows, screenshot and arrows, walking you through customizing that newsletter and even changing the title and the name on it. So again, there are some resources for that on my website in the Agent Resource Center, but also your secondary, the newsletters are actually available, already done for you. Don't think you need to rewrite the articles. You're better face to face. Take my picture off of it, please. My name, my information. And again, we walk you through on the how-to instructions exactly how to walk through it. Now, I've had a few agents that were even older than I am, and I gave them the instructions, no explanation. I said, do me a favor, follow the instructions. I want to make sure the instructions are easy to follow and complete to be able to print out the newsletter. They did it without a glitch. So we know it works, but follow the instructions. Once you do it once or twice, you go, oh my God, I get that. And you can go back in and crank them out faster than the speed of sound. Okay. So that is a great resource for you. Free reports. What to say. Making sure your right message is going to your right target. We have free reports. I think there's 9 or 10 in the library already. And I've got our marketing team working on another 10 of them or more. So there's more coming soon. And again, free reports are going to address every component. First-time home buyer, what every first-time home buyer needs to know. Common mistakes first-time home buyers make. Rent versus buy. So they're already all mapped out in there for you. You just need to remember, this is already done. You just need to go in and get them. We have a whole mini library of free reports that are geared towards homeowners. Move down. Those are coming in action. Seniors. Go know what your resources are, because that is going to help you making sure that you're getting the right message to the right target. You would not take the rent versus buy option and necessarily send it to someone who already is a homeowner. See where we're going with that? That's not applicable to them. So make sure the right message, right target. There you go. So we've got the newsletters. That goes for everybody. We've got customized message postcards, free reports, blogs. Oh my God. Yes, you've got your blogs as well. And we've got everything available to you with a simple grab, click, drop, you're done. Okay. So again, think about who your target is going to be, your target bullseye from there. What is the problem that they have or will have relatively soon that you can step in and say, hey, I'm your go-to source. I'm your PPS. You're the professional problem solver, remember? There you go. Okay, that is what I have highlighted off my handouts here. We're pretty good on time, so let me open it up. Are there any questions? Let me go to the chat box real quick. See what you've got, if there's any specific questions. Yeah, you don't understand why I don't want to take a phone call late at night. Now, a few of you I would take the phone call from, but to the rest of you, it's like, yeah, no, Love you not that much. All right. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. Yeah, you can set it for do not disturb. Um,
I always figured any call I got after 9 o'clock at night from my students, there was alcohol involved in it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's yeah, or somebody's killed somebody. They need bail or an alibi, one of the two. So that's always
No.
dangerous. Yeah. Um, okay. So does this what we've just talked about, does this help you understand a little bit better the insight to people? You've got personality styles, you've got learning styles, you've got the right message that needs to go to the right target. What some of those are, you become the chameleon. So just because your style is one way and theirs is another, you either meet them in the middle or you're going to lose them. Stopping and thinking, what is my target market? What is the problem that they're going to have or do have already that I can help resolve for them? Paying the landlord's mortgage, renters move up, move down, house no longer meets their needs. Again, this is not to everyone rocket science. Fortunately for me, this comes second nature, and I am more than happy than to pass the information on to you. But here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Take a moment to sit back when we get off this call and say, okay, I've not listened to scripts and conversation starters, or I've not listened to the best one-liners. When can I take an hour, the rest sometime in the next week? When can I block off time to do that? Make sure you have the handouts with you, because just listening to it is not going to do you any good. Okay. Most of these need to have a little bit of attention and study given to them. So with that, block that time off. What else do you need to learn? Block the time off. If you are new to us at Samson and have not taken Jumpstart 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to beg you please to do it. Donnie has said over and over again, if he could make it mandatory, he would. When I have an agent that comes to me who's been in the business 20, 25, 30 years, which is longer than me, and says, oh my God, I just went through that. I learned stuff I didn't even know. No one's ever taught that before. God, I wish I would have known this 20 years ago when I got started. My business would be going a lot faster, a lot more effective, a lot more efficient. That warms my heart. Okay. So we know what it takes to be in this business. First off, it is a business. Second off, there needs to be consistency. That's why we talk so much about time blocking. And if it's not on your calendar, it ain't going to happen. So make sure that you're blocking off time to work on your business. Then from there, what are the things that need to be done within the structure of your business? We have the full daily task that matters. If you are still kind of fumbling and bumping your toe with, okay, so what am I supposed to be doing today? Go into the resources or on my page, handouts, the daily tasks. It has the daily tasks and the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it out and use that as your track to run on. You will need to print them out or have one copy and then run copies of them every day until this becomes so second nature to you, you don't need to check it off. Again, we're visual. God gave us 2 eyes for a reason. We need to see it, which is why it's done in that format for you. Again, it's not difficult. It's nothing that you can't learn. It's just the consistency, the right verbiage, right message to the right target, asking the right question in the right way, maybe fine-tuning your skills. You will succeed and you will be fine. There you go. I'm having a problem getting to Jumpstart to where's the bet place? I'm thinking best place. It should be in Cardinal Nest in Samson University, and it should be on my page. Okay, but you can also just go right into Samson University. First off, do you know how to get into Samson University? Once you log in to Cardinal Nest, your picture is going to show up in the upper right-hand corner. Next to it is a drop-down box. And in that, you should be able to have a quick link over to Samson University. It's the same login as into your Cardinal Nest, but once you log into it, it remembers you and you're good. From there, you can go into the search box and just type in Jumpstart, and they should show up. Remember, scroll down. In fact, I need to check that they've updated the newest handouts in there. If you want the newest handout, I also have it on my website now for you. Agent Resource Center, handouts or bonus handouts, however it's labeled. Can't get any simpler than that for you. So they should be there. If you're really getting into a jam, let me know and I'll see what's going on. Okay. All right, my friends. If there's any questions, shoot me an email. I'm actually going to be in the office in and out a bit tomorrow. I'm actually in town all next week as well. And then I get ready to start hitting the road again for our spring run. So know that I appreciate you. Know that I appreciate your time. I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. We're giving you the best information that's out there that has been proven to work. I'm going to tell you what doesn't work as well. And I'm just going to cut to the chase on it. So I appreciate your time, everyone. With that, go be awesome. Go be wonderful. Go master your skills, master your craft, and then learn to cry all the way to the bank. Okay. I'll see you in the next session. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are all very welcome.
Thank you, Lynn.